development content creator, a trainer, a conference speaker. She is an experienced human resource person, and she has done a lot of compliance and industry-related issues. She has 12 years experience in repeated success, implementing best practices, building successful HR strategies and departments from the ground upwards. She's actually very passionate about training, empowerment, and of course, mentorship. She serves as a consultant of the trainer, several established corporations, counties, and private organizations. Finally, I would request that we mute our gadgets so that we're able to easily communicate. So sorry, I was still introducing our EBO trainer. She has trained in very many areas, including etiquette, HR for non-HR, leadership, purpose of leadership, communication, teamwork, sexual harassment, conflict management, HR analytics, emotional intelligence, performance management, career development, change management, and the future of work, among many others. As a conference speaker, is an organized and coordinated, she has organized and coordinated several conferences, bringing together people from public and private sectors. Of course, that includes the Women in HR Convention 2021-22, HR Congress 2021-22. He did the induction for Kiambu County Assembly, HR Conference 2021-22. She also did the HR Annual Dialogue 2022, East Africa Convention 2022, Talent Development 2022, Africa for African Women 2022, and of course, Women in Africa Convention 2020. So Grace is of course passionate about believes in equipping the great risk takers in the world with information that can help them scale the heights in their heights. So actually, Grace also participates in tree planting on the other side of Grace as part of the contribution to the environmental and social initiative. So far in her leadership, she claims to have planted 8,000 trees in a span of 2 years. Some of us have not even been able to plant 3. She has done 8,000. Congratulations. So Grace, a candidate, Master of Science, Human Resource Management at Moi University, holds a Bachelor's Arts, Journalism and Media Studies, Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Nairobi. Besides, she's a certified HR practitioner, CHRPK, and a certified professional trainer. She is a practicing member of IHRM, a board member of EPZA, EBZA, and a HR advisor at the board of several private companies. I may go on and on and on because this is a person whom we all know. At that point, allow me to stop and welcome Grace to take it up from there. Grace, the floor is yours.
Hello. Yes, I'm here. I don't know whether you guys can hear me clearly. You
Yes,
can comment
can.
on the chat.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you. Excellent. I don't know, my lighting seems to be a bit off. Of course, I am not in my office, but we will try and work with what we have. And yes, I am here to speak about, thank you very much, Bonachea, for the warm introduction. Sometimes I keep wondering, oh my God, when did I do that? But yeah, it's amazing to be here. I'm honored to be part of the session today and to be amongst you guys. This is amazing. And I'm glad to be closing the year because definitely the grace is to you. I mean, you're finishing the year with grace, literally. So, and I'm wishing you a lot of grace as you go on to the new year. And it's, of course, with their saying sound is off. Maybe you can check yours because I believe the rest of the team can hear us. Maybe you can check your volume. Or I'm too low. Just 1 second. All right.
No, we can hear you. We can hear you, Grace. You're audibly well.
Okay, sawa. So it's amazing to be here. Of course, I'm excited to be sharing with you a few things that I have practiced or I have learned along the way. Wow, done. Evans Gesora. Now I'm wearing my Evans. Thank you. Yeah. Just 1 second. All right. So I have probably managed to mute almost everyone. This is me being a moderator. Sorry, I do this for a living. So yeah. I have noise makes me, yeah. So, I mean, we are here to discuss about your positioning yourself for growth when we come to the new year. But I want us to just type on the chat and tell me, what are some of the things that you've been able to achieve so far? What is the one thing that you set out to do and you have actually done? When you were closing the year 2021, and this is closing the year 2022, what is the one thing, and you can engage on the chat, what is the one thing that you set out to do and you have actually done? Let's engage on the chat. What is the one thing that you have set out to do and you have actually done? If you may. I'm waiting for on the chat. What is the one thing that you set out to do in the year 2022 and you have actually done? What is the one thing that you set out to do in 2022 and you have actually done? All right. Emodia says finishing my master's coursework. All right. And Bahati says achievement, finally taken the leap of faith to pursue what I have desired. That is consultancy. Agatha says I had purpose to do CHRP and it's done. All right. I'm waiting for 3 or 4 more and then we will jump right onto it. Yeah. Wycliffe says to become the best department at my work and we won a trophy. Susan says to start CHRP and I'm done with one session. Edward says I'm a fresh graduate. I wanted to be a member of IHRM and now I'm an associate member. Wow. So you guys can clap for yourselves. You have done. For those with videos on, this is how we clap on Zoom. But there's also the emojis on the side. You can use that. So, and allow us to just jump right on it. I will be sharing my screen. So that at least we have a flow. But please note, we are hoping to be very engaged as we start off. I am... Okay, just 1 second. I'm trying to get my screen on. Oh God. All right, here we are. So positioning ourselves for growth, and growth is very, very interesting. Sometimes we want to be very particular about growth. And sometimes we actually grow without necessarily being focused. But because we are living in a very competitive world, because we are living in a world that is very demanding of us, and there's no room for number 2 nowadays, by the way, there's no room for number 2. You're either number 1 or you're not there. So because of that, it requires us to be very intentional about what we want to achieve. It requires to be very, very intentional about what we want to achieve. And I believe that is part of why we are here today. So allow us to jump right onto it. So growth. When I think about growth, I normally think about growth from a point of a plant. Because a plant has a beginning. It starts off as a seed. Then it grows into something that we actually go and pluck. We either eat or it dries up it dries up, and then the cycle starts again. So we as human beings must keep growing because we are evolving creatures. And as the more we evolve, the more we want to get better. Now, one of my favorite things that I have come to learn in life, and for those who are noting things down, you can note this one. Every new version or every new opportunity for you requires a new version of you. Every new opportunity requires a new version of you. So if in as much as you're trying to, you get an opportunity for growth, you cannot keep operating the way you used to operate. So for example, if you are an HR assistant and you now have become an HR officer, or you are an intern in the HR department, and now you have been given the job, you have a responsibility to up your game. You have a responsibility to be more competent. You have a responsibility to keep growing. And let me tell you the one thing, and you're going to see this. Growth is a personal responsibility. The minute you start blaming your organization for growth, you are in trouble, because it means that you are not owning your own journey. As soon as you realize that there are no opportunities for growth, it is for you to decide what you want to do with yours. Because like we say, it is your career. You own your career. No one else owns your career. So you need to manage it like a CEO. So as we start this conversation, just remember, every new opportunity you have, it requires a totally new version of you. So you need to make sure that that opportunity is not compromised because you're not developing yourself, because you're not evolving, because you're not getting better, because you're not growing. You have been given an opportunity to grow, you do not grab it. You have seen, because some of these things are never given, they are grabbed. You have seen an opportunity for you to make a difference. And instead of taking it and shining with it, you decide, no, that is my boss's area. Oh no. And some of these things are actually a blue ocean. And if you look at my slide, I'm actually using the blue ocean because today we are focusing not on the murky waters. We are focusing on how you can position yourself on your blue ocean to be able to enjoy the tranquility that comes with the blue ocean. And we're saying growth is the hallmark of all living things. So if you're not growing, you need to rethink about your life, really. You really need to think about what you're doing next. So I look at growth in two things, and I wanted us to differentiate between career growth and career development. Career growth, it strives to take you up the ladder of the organization hierarchy, right? And then it's career growth, it takes you up the organization hierarchy. So if you're looking to, maybe you're coming from HR manager to now HR director, that is part of career growth, okay? It pays more attention to your career goals and ambition. This is career growth. It is more for you and your ambitions and what you really want to do. And then it dwells more on the strategy. Now, versus career development. Career development polishes your skill sets towards an improvement. So if you want to grow, you have to develop your career. And then it pays more attention to how. Please underline the word how. The other one is on the what. Career growth is on the what. Career development is on the how you're going to achieve your goals. And then, of course, it has transformational tendencies. There are things that you need to do in your life that actually will position you for career growth. And that part of those things is what we call career development. Now, I want us to engage on the chat. And just engage me. When you want to lose weight, I don't know how many of us have ever tried to lose weight. What are some of the things that you need to do? And you can please engage on the chat. What are some of the things that you need to do when you want to lose weight? The goal is to lose weight. What are some of the things that you need to do? And I'm waiting for you guys to comment on the chat. What are some of the things you intend to do? So for example, in 2022, you want to lose 10 kgs. What are you going to do? Okay, I see check on diet, go to the gym, all right. Check on diet, check on your current weight, stop eating ugali, a lot of ugali. Purpose to do it, and then we have discipline and consistency. Be intentional on what you eat, movement, and proper mindset. Then work with an instructor. Who is this? Need to visit gym and be consistent. Discipline and targets. All right. I am loving this class because part of how you set yourself up for growth is through your discipline. Discipline gets things done. No, wait, motivation gets things done. Discipline gets, wait, I've forgotten that one. Please remind me. I got it mixed up. But yeah, so you get the gist. If you want to lose weight, there are things that you need to put in practice. Now, if you want to position yourself for growth, there are things that you must do. And that is part of what we're discussing here today. If you're positioning yourself for growth, you have talked about joining the gym. You have talked about being consistent about your food. You have talked about not eating a lot of ugali. You have talked about working with an instructor. All this will help you achieve your goal. So what are some of the things that you can actually do that will help you in terms of positioning yourself for growth in 2023? Now, I want you to probably on a separate notebook, just write, what is it I want to do? 2 things that you want to do as you move on to 2023. 2 things that are very, very important for you that you want to grow, to position yourself for. So, for example, if you want to sit in the board, in a private sector or public sector, I'm privileged to be sitting in both private and public sector boards. And when you are positioning to get into that, what are some of the things that you need to do to be there? If you're going like Bahati, who has started her consultancy, what are some of the things that you need to do? I remember last year when I won Trendsetter, Nelson promised me that, Grace, next year I am going to be the trendsetter. And Nelson intentionally started doing webinars, started being out there, chased his up, and eventually he was named the HR trendsetter when it comes to analytics. So for you, what exactly do you need to do to position yourself for growth? Now, for me, for example, part of what I need to do is get a certification for coaching, because I know I have been doing it, but I am not certified to coach. So I want to position myself for coaching. So what are some of the things that I need to do? Number 1, I've talked about certification. So, and here we are. What aspects of your life are you looking to grow in 2023? And you can use 1 word and share, maybe 5. 1 word on the chat. What aspects of your life are you looking to grow in 2023? And you know, it could be anything. It could be family. You know, spend more time with family. It could be get a promotion. It could be income wise. It could be anything. So what are some of the aspects of your life you're looking to grow in 2023? Let's engage on the chat. Bahati says self-care. All right. Wycliffe, I'm waiting for yours. And Joshua, Galaxy. And the other Galaxy person. Oh, somebody is looking to do a wedding. Congratulations. Graduate, masters, and CHRP. Tabitha says, get to the C-suite. I am loving this. I'm loving this. Career progression and better use of finances. That is from Jackson. And then Vera says, complete CHRP. Career growth, masters, and CHRP. That is Evans. Mombi says she wants to do her PhD. Violet says, get a promotion. Judith says, finish their masters. So as you plan those aspects of your life, as you get onto those aspects of your life, what are you willing to sacrifice? For those of you who are writing down, what are you willing to sacrifice to get that? What are you willing to sacrifice to get there? All right. I hope this video will play. Please let me know.
Like, what is that thing that you want to achieve in life?
Grace, we can only just see the wordings. The sound from the video is not
Oof. I don't know how to share the video. Dan, I need your help. I don't know whether Dan is here. Anyway, you can just probably read. I don't know how to share sound as well. How do I share this? Okay, let me try again. Ooh.
Something I've heard.
You've heard?
Ubebe. Aya. Elimu na junior.
Can you hear?
Like, what is that thing that you want to achieve in life?
I think not yet, Grace.
For essence on earth. Let's keep the money aside. What else are you focused on?
Grace,
Yes,
I think he has refused to speak.
but you can read. It's fine. You can read and get the gist.
Money. That thing that
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
what is your real essence on earth? Let's keep the money aside. What else do you put on?
Right. I have no idea why I cannot share sound, but anyway, I think you have read.
Your box tena.
You'll be in charge of me.
All right. What this gentleman is saying is everything he's been asked to do is all money. What is the plan for future? It's money. What do you want to do with your life? Money. Please put money aside. What else do you want to do? That money that you just put aside. And it's a good thing. In all honesty, money makes life good. I will not lie to you. But again, money is not everything. So as you strategize for growth, please note we will see for goal setting. Please note the areas of your life you want to improve on. And it is okay for it to include money, by the way. I don't know why we keep saying, I know they say money is the root of all evil, but oh my God, show me how bad. I mean, it is what you do with the money. We normally say money is a tool. So if part of your growth includes money, please note it down as part of how you're going to position yourself to make money. If part of your growth is what you guys have written here about CHRP, but then I'm surprised. No one has said that they want to get more than what they're earning. I have no idea. How we are HR people and we want to say that money is not important, eh? Yeah, so I know money is important. There's Betty saying, I want to be more focused and aggressive. That is very good. Very, very, very important. So when you want to position yourself for growth, whatever it is that you want to achieve, it is okay if it includes money. By the way, I thought I needed to put this one here because HR people are very scared. Please mute yourselves.
Next week.
Wewe and Bahati, wewe.
Yeah, I think you can also use some of your moderator skills. They should know you are also a chief whip. They should mute. Thank you.
Yes, and the worst part is I know everyone by name. Yeah, so it is okay to have money as a goal, but it is not okay to have only money as a goal. I hope I have made myself clear. So that HR professionals, we need to stop being shying away from costing. We need to stop shying away from asking for money. This is part of why we probably are wondering why we never get increments. It's because we never ask, and it's because our goal is never money. So I thought I needed to add that. All right, now that we can't have sound, I guess we will have to do without that part. All right, so number one of how you're going to position yourself for growth is your mindset. Your mindset. I am telling you, if you can change your mindset about how you run your things, about your career, about your money, about your relationships, about everything around you, if you're able to change your mindset, you are likely to have a different perspective on things, and this is going to propel you to greater heights. So on mindset, I like the quote by Eric Thomas, who says, if you're ready to take your game to the next level, you gotta change that mindset. If you're ready to take your game to the next level, you need to change your mindset. So stop being afraid. Stop looking at things only on one side. Stop only looking for growth upwards. You can grow horizontally. Is it horizontal? Yeah, that one. You can grow horizontally, you can go vertically. You need to change your mindset. You can also make do with what you have now if you only change your mindset. For those of you who are busy here saying, my God, my workplace is very toxic. What is your purpose in that workplace? How can you change? What are the areas of influence you can have? What is this culture that is there that requires change? Yeah. So you need to look at your life and go through your goals and see what are the stumbling blocks mentally. What is the mindset you have about the things you want to achieve? What is your mindset on growth? Yeah. Now, if you want to focus on mindset, we have two types of mindset. We have the growth mindset, and we have the fixed mindset. Now, when you're in the growth mindset, you always have a positive angle to it. You know the way we say the glass is half full or half empty. It is up to you to see whatever it is that you want to see. So when you're on the growth mindset, the first thing that you realize is you can learn anything I want to. In fact, I wish we were in a physical setup because everyone would have repeated this after me. I can learn anything I want to. When you're on a fixed mindset, things are very different. When you're on a fixed mindset, you say, I am either good at it or I am not. There's no learning. It is either or. It's black or white. There's no, okay, wait, how can I change it? Yeah. On the fixed mindset, you normally say, when I'm frustrated, I give up. When I'm frustrated, I want to disappear. When things are not going the way I want to run away. When I nimepigiwa kelele mara moja by my employer, I am busy on the run because you have a fixed mindset. As soon as you are keleleshwa the one, as soon as you're told that show cause why you did not do 1, 2, 3, the next minute, Grace, I need to change employment. Please do my CV. I am coming for coaching. I want to change. I am done. I want to grow. And you're like, oh my God, when we dig deeper, we realize you are actually running away. So you're getting frustrated and your first order of business is I am done with HR. I am never going to, in fact, I was never meant to become an HR. I was meant to be something else. That is a fixed mindset. I don't like to be challenged. Every time you're thrown in the deep end, you're thinking, my God, where do I start? And I like, I like people who can take on challenges because the learning you do. The learning you do. One day I'll tell you guys about my first experience as a board member in public sector, because things, the way we are used to running things in private sector is totally different from the way we are used to running things in public sector. But it was so challenging, and at some point I was like, oh my God, was I meant for this? But that's fine. Then I realized, wait a minute, yes, I actually paid to be here. So that is going to, if you say that you do not like challenges, and every time you're challenged, you want to run away, then you're in the wrong path. You're not in a growth mindset. Come. And then tell me I'm smart. If people do not tell you you're smart, you're finished. Now, when you fail, you think that you're not good enough. And maybe some of these things are just small challenges, because sometimes you also will fail. We will make mistakes. So every time you make a mistake, you say, oh my God, I am not good. Oh my God, I really suck at this. I'm really bad at this. I really cannot figure my way out, you know. That is a fixed mindset. Another way we show up in fixed mindset is, if you succeed, I feel threatened. You do not celebrate your friends when they win. You do not celebrate when you're challenged by your friends, when your friends are succeeding, when your colleagues are succeeding, when you're, in fact, the person you went into the organization together, you are hired together, and they are promoted. Your first order of business is tell them congratulations, and then deep down you're like, oh my God, I am the only one. Oh my God, I am threatened. I want, Or if your HR assistant, for HR managers, if your junior is doing things better than you used to, instead of embracing that and learning from them, you just feel threatened, and the next minute you're just spoiling for them with your superiors. You want them to be fired just because they are not heeding to your way of doing things. And then in another fixed mindset, my abilities determine everything. You're not ready for new challenges. It is just about what you know, and that's it. All about what you know. Now, if you are in the growth mindset, and this is where I'm hoping all of us are going to start being by 1st of December 2023, or rather 1st of January 2023, we are switching from the fixed mindset into the growth mindset. Now, in the growth mindset, we normally say, I can learn anything I want to. What on earth is stopping you? All right. When I'm frustrated, I persevere. There's an element about leadership that requires you to be resilient and to be agile. They go hand in hand. You are willing to change. You're willing to be flexible. This thing is not working out. How about we try it like this? It's not working out. How about we try it like this? And of course, that does not mean that you stay in a place that you feel like you're exhausted. When you start feeling that you're exhausted, you even know when to give up. You don't just give up every day. You know the right time to actually move on to other things, okay? I want to challenge myself. You take on challenges yourself. You just keep putting yourself in places where it challenges your thinking. It challenges your career. It challenges you as a person. So that this challenge can be a stepping stone to the next level. So your mindset, your growth mindset, then tell me I try hard. Don't just tell me I'm smart. When you're in the fixed mindset, tell me I'm smart. But when you're in the growth mindset, tell me I try hard. Because every day you have to be trying. Every day you have to bring in your best. And even when the best is not best enough, you keep trying. That is a growth mindset. And then if you succeed, I am inspired. I use your growth to inspire me. Oh my God. I have just given you an example that happened just the other day. Nelson said, Grace, I am going to come there. I am going to be, I take your win as an inspiration for me. That is a growth mindset. But if you take it as a challenge, in fact, we call it a poverty mindset. When people's success is a threat to you, we call that poverty mindset. When you're not the one getting all the goodies, we call it poverty mindset. Because you want to hold, you want to gain everything, and it's impossible. So if you're on the growth mindset, and this is where I'm hoping everyone on this call will start the year on, my effort and attitude determine everything. Everything you got, every day you have to choose to show up. Every day you are disciplined enough to push for your results. Every day it is your attitude that determines where you're going, not your ability. You know, sometimes you'd say that Grace Nzula is short. So whenever anything that is being done by tall people, Grace Nzula, please sit. I can choose to alienate myself. But why should I alienate myself? Why can't I pull a stool and step on it? Why can't I look for a ladder? Your attitude determines everything and not your abilities. I hope I am clear on this. I hope if you can understand what I mean, please type YY on the chat. Please type YY. If you're on a growth mindset, please type YY. If you are together, please type YY. If you are together, please type YY. Aha. If I'm making sense, please continue typing YY. All right, all right, all right, all right. All right, so I hope we're very clear about your mindset. So as you position yourself for growth in 2023, the first thing you need to work on is your mindset. And we are doing away with the fixed mindset, and we are going into the growth trajectory. This is where the growth mindset will take us. This is the beginning. So in fact, these are just statements that you need to tell yourself, yeah? These are habits that you need to inculcate in your life. Your mindset will determine where you're going. Your effort and attitude will determine everything and not your abilities. I hope you guys are getting that clear. All right. Number 2, self-awareness. How you position yourself for growth is through self-awareness. I've spoken about mindset. The only way you change your mindset is if you're aware of where you are. And that comes with self-awareness. So once you have changed your mindset, you now start looking at, who am I? Who is Wycliffe? Who is Pauline? Who is Emodia? Who is Njiro? Who am I? Who is Grace Nzula? And who is Grace without Nzula? And who is Nzula without Grace? And of all these things, who are you without your title? Who are you without your title? That is something I am giving homework for. Please write it down. Who am I without my title? Who am I without being named HR manager? Who am I without being called HR assistant? Whom am I without being called a student? Whom am I without being a manager? Whom am I? I've seen alphas here. Who am I if I'm not the deputy principal? Who am I? You need to answer that question. Number 2 question you need to ask yourself, where am I? We are talking about growth. Growth means it is from one to the other. So from what to what? Where am I? For you to grow, you have to know where you are at. So first of all, I would ask, Mr. Emodia is taking his master's and wants to do CHRP. And then what? If you have a master's degree and you have your CHRP, and then what does that mean for you?
I want to be a HR director.
So you want to be a HR director. So your yes. CHRP and your master's is your personal development as you go to the growth
HR
goal.
director.
Yes. So where am I? So if you want to become HR director, where are you now? And what do you need to do? So where am I? Where am I going? He has said I don't know what he does right now, but he wants to go to HR director. So where am I going is an answer you need to give us, or rather you need to give yourself. And then how am I going there? How will you get where you're going? What are the things that you need to do? Remember our scenario, the analogy of you losing weight. When you want to lose weight, you need to go to the gym, and not going to the gym only. You also have to watch your food, your diet. And not only do you need to watch your diet, you probably will need to do shopping at some point. And not only do you need to do shopping, you also need to pay for the gym. So all these things are the how you're going to get there. Now, when you're setting the how, we are going to discuss this in a bit. You need to decide what is the achievable goal every day. What are you going to do either weekly? What are you going to do every month? What are you going to do every quarter to actually get you there? All right. So how am I going there? So who am I? Where am I? Where am I going? How will I get there? If you want to get to Naivasha, for example, and you're coming from Nairobi, first thing you need to know is I'm going to Naivasha. Then how will I get to Naivasha? You decide. I am going to take What matatus go to Naivasha? South Rift, shuttle. And then you decide, you want
You
to go
take
to
Lulu.
Kasese. Yes, or you want to go to Kasese. Kasese, I know, is the stage to in Nairobi for Naivasha. You want to go there, and then you'll take a matatu that will take you to Naivasha. Yeah, but in that matatu, you also need to have transport. So how are you going to get there? You need a matatu, you need transport. You list some of these things down, and that's why we normally say when you're setting goals for the year. And this is my gospel. Do not set more than 3 to 4 goals. Just 3 to 4. 3 to 4, and then everything else becomes a daily discipline indicator. All right? Then who is going with me? If you want to get there, who are the support system that you need? How do you get there? Who are the people who are going to support you? How do you get there? Do you need school fees? For example, when Nani wants to take on CHRP, who is going to pay your school fees? Is it you? Is it your employer? Who is going with you? Okay. And then to crown it all, is it in line with my purpose? This question on purpose, it is, for example, to just answer, what am I doing it for? What am I doing it for? What is the purpose of this goal? What is the purpose for my life? What is the purpose for this time I am here? Because I believe as we evolve, also purpose evolves. What purpose are you doing it for? Okay. So I hope we are clear. And if you are clear, you can, you want to ask a question, you can go ahead and do that. But yes, self-awareness. So I've talked about mindset. You need to assume the growth mindset. And then you need to be very aware of who you are. Who are you? What are you capable of? Where are you going? What is your attitude? Who are you going with? How do you get there? Very, very important. How do you get there? All right. Now, the other aspect of positioning yourself for growth is personal responsibility. Now, I look at personal responsibility, and if you've ever heard me talk about this concept, I normally divide it into 2. The response ability. It is your ability to respond, your ability to respond to different situations, different circumstances, different people, things that happen in your life. How are you responding to that? Now, when you're positioning yourself for growth, this has to be a consistent thing that you do. Now, the reason why I put them into 2, 1, the reasons why we fail to take personal responsibility is fear. We are afraid. What if I charge this much and I lose this client? For those of you in consultancy, what if I quote this high and I don't get the job? What if I apply for this job and I do not meet all the characteristics? Will they ever consider me? What if I show up for that networking session and everyone starts laughing at me? Fear is, I don't know, can you engage on the chat? What is fear? What is fear? Somebody type on the chat. What is fear? How does fear show up in our lives? Wanjogo says fear is the enemy of progress. Aha. How does fear manifest in our lives? Fear is what stops you from progression. That's from Wycliffe. Pauline says inability to believe in yourself. What is fear? All right. Obscurity of the unknown. Andrew says that. Ali says fear is the opposite of faith, self-belief. Edna says it's failing to take a step. Thinking you're not good enough. Where is that? I have seen something like that. Magda K says thinking you're not good enough. Joseph says limiting factor. Justice says unpleasant emotion. Esther says false evidence appearing real. I was actually looking for that. Thank you, Esther Nasenya. Edna says something harmful. Agatha says false evidence appearing real. So fear is false evidence appearing real. So you need to get rid of your fear. Do not allow fear to get into you. Every time you hear that voice coming, please make sure you counter it with some positivity, yeah? Because fear is one of the ways we fail to take personal responsibility. We are afraid of taking on too much. We are afraid of taking a risk. We are afraid. Of course, I'm not saying you don't do calculated risks, but I'm saying do not let fear stop you. The other way we fail to take personal responsibility is because of shame. Now, akinichekelea. In fact, this is one of the reasons why a lot of people fear public speaking. Because they're like, oh my God, no, I cannot. What if I say something wrong? What if? Shame. You're afraid of taking a risk because there's shame. Maybe it is because as a result of your childhood trauma. But shame is also a challenge when it comes to personal responsibility. And of course, ego. Yeah? Mimi ni mwanaume kamili. Mimi ni mwanamke kama mimi. I mean, I am the HR director. What are you talking about? What do you want at you? What? Attend where? Come and support who? Oh, no. I cannot support my people because of your ego. I cannot apologize to the cleaner because of your ego. Now that cleaner is the one who knows everything, even including your boss's wife. They're in touch with the cleaner. But you, because you have an ego, you cannot say hello to a cleaner. Why? You know? So these three things are your main stumbling block to growth. Fear, ego, and shame. They are they are the biggest. If you are not growing, please check with these three. If you're not growing, check with these three. And we are going to work on them. Now, how does your failure to take personal responsibility show up? Because internally, you are afraid. Internally, you're feeling shame. Internally, it's your ego. Now, how does it manifest to us who are watching you outwardly? You start blaming others. There is always somebody else who is responsible for your mistakes. There is always somebody who is responsible for your not growing. There is always somebody responsible for why you're stuck in the same place you're at. That is blame. You keep blaming everyone. Everyone is the problem. My mother is the problem. My boss is the problem. My line managers are the problem. In fact, the people in my office are the problem. And we look thinly. You are the problem. So you have allowed fear and ego and shame to take control of you. And as a result, you always blame others. Now, blame is for people. The other way it shows up is by making excuses. You have 24 hours in a day, yet you are saying that you cannot go to class. In fact, my favorite excuse is I am traveling too much. I am not able to go to the gym. I do that. And I know it is something like that I like referring to as career limiting. I know I need to exercise to stay sane. But now my excuse will be I am traveling. In fact, the last 2 months, my schedules have been so bad. I am not able to exercise. And exercise only takes 20 minutes. Honestly, if I was intentional about exercising, I would be exercising. But because I want to make excuses around this and around my growth, I have that as an excuse. So excuse, the difference between blame and excuse is for situations. So we always blame situations. You come to work late and you're wondering why you never get to work on time. But you say that there's always traffic and you live in Nairobi. And we all know that Nairobi, there's always traffic. You are working in the flower farm and you're expected to deliver an email where, and you know in your office you don't have internet. So you never submit your reports because you do not have internet. And you have internet, you have bundles to log into this meeting. Can we quit the excuses? Because this is part of why we are not growing. And these are some of the career limiting habits that we have that are making us not positioned for growth. And then complaining. We have complainers in chief. There are people whose life is just surrounded by complaints. Yani they complain about the sun, the moon, everything on earth is a problem. Now, if you blame, you get into the habit of blame game. You get into the habit of coming up with excuses. The other thing you're doing is complaining. Guess what you become? You become a victim. Now, everyone, wewe ndio unaoneangwa. You are the only problem. Yani, you are the victim. Everyone just picks on you. You're the only person who does not get promoted. You're the only person who does not get bonuses. You're the only person who is never given an opportunity to go to where? My friend, you have blamed everyone. You have come up with excuses. You have complained, and now there's nothing else to do but become a victim. Now that is a career limiting excuse. That is a career limiting move. When you become a victim, it is a career limiting move, my friends. And if you agree with me, type yeah, why on the chat. In fact, this is the part you declare, I am not going to play victim. I am waiting for that statement on the chat. I am not going to play victim. On the chat, I am not going to play victim. Can you write that down? I am not going to play victim. Yes, Pauline, I am not going to play victim. Edward, Mombi, Lois, Yvonne, Joseph, Joyce, I am not going to play victim. Yes, those are career limiting. They are career limiting. They are problems for you. If you blame others, and I know you guys are here, please get over your fear, get over your shame, get over that ego. Quit blaming others, quit making excuses, quit complaining, and stop by all means playing victim, because you're not a victim. You are meant for greatness. Stop limiting or self-sabotaging moves. That is what I want to call them. All right. Number 3, we have talked about mindset. We have talked about personal responsibility. We have talked about what was the other aspect? I don't know whether you guys remember. We have talked about self-awareness, and now we are going to personal branding. This is one of my favorite topics. All right, personal branding. Personal branding, you can check our YouTube channel. We've done quite a lot on personal branding. But personal branding requires, because you're talking about positioning yourself for growth in 2023, personal branding requires time. You have to dedicate some time to position yourself as a brand. You must position yourself to give us your profile and we go like, oh, wow. You must position yourself in a way that people can mention your name behind closed doors. You have to position yourself in your organization as such a person that every time a manager is asked, and this is any other manager, not HR, should we do something for our HR? And everyone in that room will say, yes, yes. Because you have branded yourself as, you've taken time to brand yourself. You are a solution provider. You are a leader. Now I'm speaking to HR professionals, and that is why on personal branding, I summarized it into 3 points. You need to sacrifice your time. You need time. Sometimes you do things that will not be paid. Sometimes you do things because they help you build your profile. You help people in the offices because you want to brand yourself. Now you need to take your time and decide, what brand have I built? What brand how do I position my brand? Who am I? Remember, if you do not brand yourself, people will brand you. I'm very intentional about branding. I am moderator of choice. I have chosen that title. It is not by chance. It is intentional. I am the moderator of choice. If you have 10 choices, the only choice you have is Grace Nzula. That is a brand I have intentionally chosen. What is yours? What do you want to be known for? What do you want to be known for? That is the other assignment you have. You can write that down in your notebook. What do I want to be known for in 2023? And please, not being known for does not mean that you're known by all the HR professionals, but you have to have people who know about you. You saw in their words, people had to vote for people, and they were not voting for people because a name appears there. There is one person in that list that made them want to vote for the others, but there was one person who was influencing their decision. That is part of branding. So you ought to sit down and in the next 1 week, because you have about a week, In the next 1 week, you need to sit down and decide what you want to be known for. And when you decide that, please note you must dedicate time for personal branding. You must dedicate time. I cannot emphasize that enough. Now, the other thing you need to do is you have to offer solutions. For those of you who want to become HR managers and HR directors, you must provide solutions. You cannot be the HR who goes to the boss and says, we have a situation, and you do not have a solution. Your work is just to see problems. You remember the other people who are seeing complaints? You have become a complainer. That is how you appear to your boss. That is how you appear to your CEO. How do we make you a CEO if you're not solution-oriented? When people bring you problems, how will you solve those issues? You need to be very solution-oriented as a person. So if you are the person who only goes to your CEO or to your HR manager or to your supervisor, and you're only reporting problems without possible solution. You know, I used to work for somebody who, if you went with a problem without a solution, you would be sent back to go and come up with a solution. By the way, our increments at the end of each year, we used to do presentations. You do presentations and say, this is where the HR department was in January 2022, and this is where it is at in December 2022. And with this change, I have managed to save the company 1, 2, 3 things. And because of that change and where the business is at, I request that you give me an increment of this percentage. It used to make us think out of the box, and you had to come up. I'm telling you, you go and do that presentation without solutions, my friend. You will earn the same salary for the rest of your life. For those of you who are in consultancy, you have an opportunity to decide who you want to work for. You have the opportunity to decide how much you want to earn. That is the beauty about being in consultancy. But also in employment, you have to be very solution-oriented. You have to be very solution-oriented. You cannot be the person who just goes with problems. We will brand you a problem. But if you're the person with solutions, everyone will always come to you with their problems so that you can give them solutions, yeah? And that is a self-branding move. And then you have to provide leadership. You have to have influence. People must follow you willingly. People must follow you willingly. You cannot just follow yourself. You have to prove leadership. Some of the HR managers on this call don't even understand what leadership is. They are very good as managers, but they do not have anyone who wants to even sit with them for lunch. Can we purpose in 2023 to build our brands as individuals? Who are you without your organization? For how long will I call you Wycliffe of Naivasha? For how long will I call you Bahati of CTI? For how long will I call you Agatha of Bakery? For how long will you be called with your employer? It's fine to be named after your employer, it's fine. But to what end is my question. So you need to sit down and decide about the time you will allocate for your personal branding. You need to look at becoming a solution-oriented person, and you also have to provide leadership. That is the only way you're going to position yourself for growth. I hope I'm speaking to somebody. Now, on the other, all right. We also have number 4 or 5. It's goal setting on positioning for growth. I hope you all can see my screen. We are saying when a goal is not defined, anything is a result. When a goal is not defined, anything is a result. If you do not define your goals, if you do not decide what growth means for you, then anything that you achieve by the end of 2023 is a result. If you look at your year, and you never had goals for this year, whatever it is that you have received can be termed as a result. And my good friend, you cannot live like that one. You are the people who are supposed to be setting cultures for the organization. How do you set a culture for the organization and you have not even defined your own culture as a person? How do you lead by example if we cannot learn from you? So please note, when you do not define a goal, anything you get is a result. So, and we're going to look at goal setting. You need to define now we have seen how you can position yourself, but we also need to know which goals are these that you're positioning yourself for, okay? Now, we set goals within 3 areas. The first one is an area of experience, yeah? You can decide what are some of the things you want to do in terms of experiences. Do you want to start hiking? You want to be in touch with nature more? That's an experience. You want to travel more? That's an experience. You want to go out of the country for the first time in your life? That's an experience. Yeah. Then you also need to define, you can define your growth, I mean, your goals around your growth. Career growth, for example. Financial growth. Being closer to your God. Spiritual growth. You can define goals around that area. And then your contribution. What are you doing for other people? What impact do you have? By then, some of you have very negative impact with your employees in your department. But some of you are also the best bosses that ever were. And I know you guys can remember the very first person you worked for. They either made you or broke you. And you have had, for those of you who were unfortunate enough to work in a toxic place, and it's not really unfortunate, those who are to learn the hard way, how are you contributing to the society? What is your impact? What is the one thing that people can remember you for? What is the one thing? What is your contribution to the society? Do you volunteer in church? Do you volunteer in the community? Are you planting trees? What is your contribution to the society? What impact do you have to your employees? So you can set around your goals around these areas. You can decide experiences, 1 goal, growth, 2 goals, contribution, 1 goal. It's up to you. But you have to set your goals because remember, we are being deliberate, we are being intentional in 2023. So as you position yourself for growth, these are some of the things that will come out. All right. So and if you want to learn more about goal setting on our YouTube channel, we did goal setting at the first episode of 2022 on Get It Right with Atara Solutions. You can get around to the science of goal setting. It's there. And setting up your vision boards, it is there. So you need to go and watch that so that you can get around to goal setting and doing it the right way. All right. Now, there are other aspects of positioning for growth. Is support system. Now here, there's something we call the circle of excellence. Who are in your circle? Who are these people you hang out with every day when you're not at work and when you're at work? Who are these people? Can you call Grace Nzula on your direct line and she'll be able to do something for you? Can you call Bahati and she's able to do something? Can you make a phone call and somebody will jump on right on it and be able to solve that issue for you? Do you have people, have you surrounded yourself with the circle of excellence? Who are in your circle of excellence? Now, part of the circle for excellence, you must have a mentor. In your circle of excellence, you must have a mentor. Mentors can be direct, which is structured, and you can also be mentored when it's not structured. You don't have to meet to mentor you. You can see something I do and it inspires you to do something more with your life. So circle of excellence, you need a mentor. You also need to identify a coach. You need a mentor, you need a coach. Number 3, you need a support system. You need a friend who you can bounce off ideas with. You need a friend you can call when things are not working out. You need somebody in your circle who tells you, by the way, you're keeping well. Now, in the circle of excellence, you also need to know who are your authentic friends. In your circle of excellence, how do you interact with these people? Are they making you a better person or not? If you notice, we are not talking about a group of friends. We are talking about creating a circle of excellence. Please, my fellow HR professionals, create your circle of excellence. I have said your circle of excellence needs a mentor. It needs a coach. It needs a friend who you can call on to anytime, any day with whatever. You can tell them anything. And if you do not have a friend who can tell anything, please get a psychologist they help you. And number 4, make sure that you are able to balance your own life. So in your circle of excellence, oh yeah, number 4 in your circle of excellence, sorry, I forgot to mention the sponsor. You need a career sponsor. A career sponsor is the person who mentions your name when you're not there in a positive way. If there are people who are down there looking for a HR professional in Naivasha, how many people can talk about you? If they're talking about a HR professional from Nakuru, are you among the people that can be mentioned in your life? And the only way you get career sponsors is also through personal branding. If you're not doing anything about your brand, please note people will form a brand for you. So you either determine the brand you want or people will make it for you. Now, in your circle of excellence, make sure that the people have positive impact in your life. Mentor, coach, sponsor, and a friend. And please note, I am talking about a genuine friend. And if you can, oh yeah, for the people in business, I've seen people who are doing consultancy now. Now, in the circle of excellence in consultancy, you need a mentor, you need a coach, you need a sponsor, you need a banker, and you need a lawyer. When you're in business, you need a lawyer, a banker, a sponsor, a mentor, and a coach for those in business. For those who are in employment, you have had the first list. Now, the other thing that you need to look at in your support system, it's work-life integration. If it's not working out at home, please note it's not going to work out at work. You're going to bring your work issues to, your home issues to work and your work issues to home. Make sure that you're creating some balance. When you're at home, be at home. When you're at work, be at work. When you need to bring your kids to work, bring your kids to work. I don't know whether you get the balance. Nowadays, we don't even talk about work-life balance. For some of us, it just does not balance. But work-life integration works. Jump off of this call home, find out how people are. Have some time to go and walk around the nature. Find some time to go and get a massage. Find some time to just be you. Whatever it is that works for you, whatever rejuvenates you, just find time to do that. If it's reading, find out 30 minutes a day to read. Whatever it is that you need to do to make sure that your life is flourishing, that you as a person is growing, you as a person is in the right pace. If you need to go to the gym, please find time to go there. If you need to walk around trees, find time for nature. I know Yusuf who does Karura every Saturday. If you want to, if you're rejuvenated by spending time with the kids, go to your children's home. Find what works for you and make sure that you integrate work life with your life, work with your life, because some people can become workaholics. Some of us can easily become workaholics, and you have to be intentional about this. And then accountability. You need, in fact, if you're setting your goals, I hope you can make them public. I don't know how many of you would dare make them public. I'm just wondering, would you dare make them public, your goals? And if you can dare put them public, please type yes or no on the chat. Type on the chat, can you make your goals public? The goals that you're going to set, because you're positioning ourselves for growth. And part of growth is goal setting. So in the goals you set, Wycliffe says, yes, why not? Because we are going to remind you. Joseph says, why? Yes or not. It's okay, by the way, even if it's a not, it's fine, really. It depends on you. I like the authenticity of this lady. She says no because of fear of criticism. Wanjogo says absolutely. Somebody says no. Another says yes. Mombi says not at all. Somebody else says yes, of course, yes, no. All right, all that is fine. Just make sure whatever goals you set, yes, but this calls for a lot of accountability. Yes. And no, I don't want to encourage naysayers. That is fine. Do whatever rocks your boat. But at this point, the point I'm trying to pass across is you need to make sure that you have a support system. Wewe boy tuzima hiyo kitu ukiwa Mombasa on a light note. But yes, you need to make sure that you have accountability partners. You need people who will remind you, Grace, we have not seen your post. You need people who will say, Grace, where are you? You need people who will, 3 months down the line, they'll be like, wait, I thought you said you're starting the gym. What happened? You need people in your life who will keep you accountable. Because remember, we are saying growth is intentional. Growth is deliberate. So accountability, you need people who will hold you accountable for whatever it is you decide to do. So whether you want to put it public, that's up to you. Whether you want to do it within your circle, that's fine. Whatever it is that you want to do, make sure that you have somebody to hold you accountable. So that then you make sure that you achieve them. And then on the support system, reflection. You need to sit and reflect over your life and your decisions. You need to sit and reflect about what it is that you have been able to achieve so far. Every now and then, if you're able to do self-reflection every week, if you're if you're able to do it weekly, if you're able to do it once a month, a point where you sit for about an hour and just reflect about your goals, just reflect about where you are now, just reflect about how far you have come. Just look at the mistakes you have made, find out how you can do better. Look at the decisions you've made, look at the successes, just have a moment of reflection. And I am encouraging you to do this because if you're positioning yourself for growth, you have to be able to follow through. Part of the journey this year, one of the things I was intentional about in 2022 was challenging myself to follow through and stop following up. Following up is shifting responsibility. You know the way you ask your salespeople, why have we not sold? And they tell you, client has not come. HR people will tell you they are not training because they don't have a budget. You know, we don't have a budget. Follow up is shifting responsibility. Follow through is owning the process as well. That we have not made sales and I'm part of the problem. That I have a contribution. I am following through with my goals. I have to see this to the end. So we need to quit following up and start following through, because following through will give you results. Following through will help you overcome your failures or learning points. Following through will help you when you're reflecting, because you have an opportunity to say, I am not going on the right path. So make sure that you have you created time for reflection and observe and just go over it is whatever it is you had set to do and check, have I achieved it? And you have not achieved, what else can you do? Because even if you beat yourself up until when? Yeah. So in your support system as an element of positioning for growth, be intentional about your circle of excellence. Make sure you have work-life integration. Make sure you have an accountability partner. And always remember, you need to reflect. You need some time for retrospect. And as I conclude, because I need to leave some time for questions, there's this quote by Mr. Dorit Shah. Your career is your business. It is time for you to manage it as a CEO. Jane Mutisia normally says, your career is, your job is owned by your manager. Your career is yours. Manage it. So whatever job you're employed at right now, that belongs to your superiors or your managers. I mean, so you leave and they hire somebody immediately. The job you have now belongs there. What you're in control of is your career. Please manage it as a CEO. Take control of your career. Manage your career as best as you know how, because that will help you position. You will grow. By the some of these things, once you start doing them, I can promise you, you actually start growing. And a reminder, it is okay to fail. It is okay to fail. What is not okay is to fail and stay down. But if you fall, make sure, if you're falling, make sure you fall forward. Because when you fall forward, you can up and walk. So do not say that, oh my God, this one isn't if it was an, no. If it's not working out, it is fine. Make sure that in your moments of reflection, that once a week, that once a month, you realize, okay, fine, this did not go as planned. So what can I do about it? Are there solutions? Is it something that I need to pause first and focus on something else? Because life happens. As you position yourself for growth, life happens. But please note, I am not talking about excuses. I am not talking about excuses. I am talking about things beyond your control. I am talking about you not blaming others. I am talking about you owning the process. And I hope that you guys are set to be positioned for your next level. So in conclusion, this is a quote that was given to me by Mr. Paul Ngugi last week. He said, if you're persistent, you will get it. If you're consistent, you will keep it. If you're persistent, you will get it. If you're consistent, you will keep it. This was said to me by Paul Ngugi on Sunday, and I thought it really touched me, and I thought that I need to include this. So if you're consistent, if you're persistent with your positioning and your growth, you will get it. If you're persistent, you will get it. If you're consistent, you will keep it. Thank you very much. Back to you, Wycliffe.
Wow, wow, wow. What a presentation. Every new opportunity requires a new version of me. Wow. You guys, I don't know if you are still with a fixed mindset or have you graduated into a growth mindset. Thank you so much, Grace. Thank you so much. That is so rich, so much encouraging. I think my team here should agree with me. That is awesome. So for the purposes of questions, I think we just start, maybe we type them so that because of time, I don't want to say so much, so that she can be able to handle any question, any compliment. Kindly type them on the chat as we get to see something that you feel you need clarified, you feel you need Grace to just make sure you jump to 2023 properly done. Okay, I can see people just commenting, very informative. Grace, you are a wow. Thanks, dear, I get it. That was awesome. Thanks, Grace, very insightful. Thank you. Grace never disappoints, inspiring. Any questions, any compliments? Just type them, then she should be able to pick up anything that needs her attention. Thanks, Grace, for opening our eyes, or rather an informative presentation, inspiring. Eda amebeba mikono juu, anasema Igwe amesarenda. Personal branding as ever. Thank you, Grace. That was lit. I'm inspired and on to a new journey. Lucy says everything. Pauline Juguna, great. A very informative and well-researched presentation. Asante sana. Moderator of choice all the way. I've changed my thinking. Hapo kwa ego. Nashem, thanks, girl. Thanks for the challenge. That is Magda. What is the name of the YouTube channel? Maybe that one, Grace, will let us know. Wow, wow, informative, blessed. Thank you. Thank you. It's always a blessing to listen to you. That is Judith. How do you manage procrastination? Maybe you pick that again, Grace. Wonderful session, thoughts, a wake-up call. Be intentional. Please elaborate if there's any difference between a mentor and a coach. Maybe not that one, Grace. Kudos, these are still compliments. Personal branding is everything. It speaks a lot about an individual. That is perfectly put. So maybe at this juncture, Grace, as they continue adding questions, maybe you handle the two or the three, but I think you captured the difference between a coach and a mentor. Maybe again, procrastination, somebody wants a clarification on what that is. So Grace, go ahead.
All right. On procrastination, discipline. Discipline is your answer to procrastination. It is doing what must be done no matter how, no matter how you feel. In fact, my favorite quote and what keeps me going is, you have to show up. No matter how you feel, you must show up. The other thing that keeps me going is you must do your own growing, no matter how tall your grandfather was. So regardless of who you are counting on for your growth, it's got to be you. So on procrastination, discipline is what will get you out. So you have to do what everyone does not want to do, and that is being disciplined. You have to show up even when you don't feel like. When we are running, for those of you who follow us on the YouTube sessions, there are days that are really hard. There are days that I do not feel like doing them. There are days that, oh my God, I don't have a speaker and it's already Saturday. There are days that a speaker cancels on you on an hour before the session. And what separates now, what keeps me going is discipline, that I have a responsibility, that I committed to do something every Tuesday. And whether even if I have to become the speaker, I will, because I have made a commitment to myself, and that is being disciplined. So is there procrastination? Of course. You get to Monday and you're like, oh my God, I don't even have a topic for next week. And you don't even feel like having one. But you have discipline to keep going because you set out a goal and you set out to achieve it. So for the person on procrastination, you just deal with that from a discipline point. Discipline means doing what motivation cannot do. You know, you can be motivated. When you're motivated, you'll achieve whatever it is you want to do. But consistency can only be achieved through discipline. So be disciplined. Even when you don't feel like it, just push yourself to it. Eventually, you start enjoying it. What is the difference between a mentor and a coach? Now, a coach is very, it's very structured, if I may, for lack of a better word. Coaching is very structured. A mentor can be, it doesn't have to be somebody you are with. I don't know. I'm trying to think about the right words to use so that I don't confuse people, because at some point they become similar. So a coach is a coach gives you or helps you uncover solutions for yourself. Now, a mentor or a coach gives you guidance, but a mentor, you can actually just share knowledge, share skills. They will share you examples of how they were able to deal with something like that. But a coach actually will give you guidance. No, this one do like this one do like that. You can have a mentor and a coach in one, but you can have, but they're different. So a coach will help you unpack probably areas you feel you're stuck. They'll give you guidance to things, yeah? A mentor will share with you experiences on how they did what they did. A mentor will also just inspire you to keep going. But a coach will actually sit and give you guidance. It's more about, coaching has to be very structured. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Mentorship doesn't necessarily have to be structured. It can be an ongoing. There's some people who will call me every day to ask about an HR question. And it's sort of mentorship. But coaching is where we start. We say, okay, fine, this is where you want to go. This is where you are. How do we get there? And then they give you guidelines towards there. But a mentor is somebody who just walks the journey with you as you figure out your way out, as you get better at what you're doing. They walk the journey with you. They'll help you through experiences. They'll help you through knowledge sharing and skills and all that. I hope I have made myself clear. Back to you, Nani. Wycliffe. Wycliffe? Oi, we can't hear you.
Grace, can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you, yes.
Yes, someone was asking, how do you handle an accountability partner who is negative?
That is
An
not
accountability partner who is negative. How do you handle such?
Please remember, accountability is in the circle of excellence. Your accountability partner cannot be negative. They will wear you down. Get an accountability partner who will support you in what you're doing. They'll be able to give you feedback, both positive and negative, but they will not capitalize on the negative. They'll also help you pick up if you're dropping. So if you have a negative person who is your accountability partner, switch. You do not need negative energy.
Thank you, Grace. Then someone is asking, how do you ensure work-life balance in a very demanding organization?
You know, work-life, please note, we do not have work-life balance. I think it's a facade. We have work-life integration. Now, work-life integration means that you can steal 5 minutes of your time and go and breathe. Work-life integration means that during lunchtime, if you feel like crying, you will go to the washroom, you will cry, you will breathe, You can take a walk and then come back, you're fresh. That is work-life integration. If you need to take your children to work, for some of us, we actually take our kids to work if it demands for that, because they get to do whatever it is they need to do while you're still there, and then you can give them the attention they want. So the idea about work-life balance, I gave up on it. I'm being very honest. I nowadays appreciate work-life integration. When it gets demanding, I want to take a break. I want to even go up. If you're in a story building and there are people who are sitting on the floor upstairs, just walk up, go and do a photocopy just to breathe. Take a pause. And then when you get home, if you're in a very demanding organization, when you get home, and make sure your kids, by the way, I do this, make sure your kids sleep early. See, it's school day. Make sure they sleep at 9. And then between 9 and 10, you have your me time. You can breathe. You can gather your thoughts. You can listen to your music. You can, those things. Just focus on work-life integration. It works.
Asante sana, Grace. Just before I forget, asking you share your YouTube channel, maybe, and then some are asking if you'll be able to share the notes with the YHRM officials for them to be able to go through them. Unless there's something else, maybe on your YouTube channel. Grace? Grace, are you still there?
Sorry. Yes, I'm here. Yes, I am.
Yeah, your YouTube channel, if you can share.
Yeah, just I'm using my phone DND. Okay. I had forgotten to put do not disturb. My YouTube channel is there. There you go. I've shared the link on the chat.
Yeah, thank you. That is, yeah, that's okay. Then people are also saying you will try and share the recording at some point. I think the rest are just compliments and some are just adding to your elaboration on mentorship and coaching and all that. So I think at this time, I really want to appreciate Grace. I want to appreciate all the Central Rift officials and all the members who spared their time. I was praying and trusting God that we hit. I was talking about, I know people have a lot of things they're doing now. It's Christmas time. I was saying, God, if I can just be able to have a team of 40, believe you me, we hit 100 at some point. Thank you so much for turning up. Thank you so much, Grace. And I want to assure our teams from all the regions within Central Rift, we are going to continue doing this. We'll do it again and again. We've planned a lot of activities, a lot of events, a lot of trainings. You can now see the kind of people now we are trying to start working with. You can be sure 2023 is going to be a year to reckon. Just stay close. Make sure you are with us. We are going to do it. And thank you so much, Grace, for showing them we are able to become better. Maybe just your last word, and then we call it a day.
My last word.
Thank you.
My last word. Like I said, you own your growth. It is your responsibility. Please stop blaming your organization. Please stop blaming your boss. Please own your job, own your growth, and imagine it's achievable, imagine it's doable, whatever it is that you want to do. You just need to change your mindset, take personal responsibility, understand who you are, define your circle of excellence. And if you're persistent, you will get it. If you're consistent, you will keep it. Thank you very much for having me. I have had fun. I am in Nakuru. Anyone in Nakuru, you can say hello.
Thank you so much. Just before we close down.
Oh yeah, wait quickly. Yeah, for everyone who is a follower of Get It Right and made it here, I know I shared the link on our WhatsApp group. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope we have fueled your energy for 2023. Please note, you are not, it is your people going on leave. Your career is not going on leave. Make sure the next 2 weeks you take time to work on your career and your goals. Thank you very much.
Asante sana, Grace. I think you can't just have enough of Grace. Grace, model of choice, pleasure and thank you for accepting to be with us at such a time of the year. Just before we go off, I don't know if Mumbi, my treasurer, Central Rift, are you still there? Mumbi, CHRP Mumbi?
Yes, I'm still here.
I would like just you to quickly tell our teams what we anticipate. We are even going to engage more people in training. In fact, we already have something lined for us in January. Just briefly tell us what they should expect early January.
Thank you, Wycliffe. I'm here. I'm very grateful to Grace for that session. I'm personally challenged, and we look forward to meeting you in future. To the team members, like all the other people, participants, we are grateful for your resilience. I can see we still have 80 and we are finished. That means people still want more. This is very good. So in January, we plan to have even more. We're going to engage speakers on a high note like Grace. We are very happy and we look forward to seeing you then. Thank you very much.
Asante sana. Thank you so much, my able treasurer. I think some people will swallow me here if I don't give them some time to say. Modia, quickly, what do you think of today's session and what do you encourage and promise your team, Central Rift and HRM at large? Tumeamka 2023, hatutaki mchezo. Bwana Emodia, haraka haraka.
Thank you, Bwana Chair. Today's session was so great. It was an eye-opener. For me, I've learned quite a lot. I've always desired to grow, and I think I'm now positioning myself very well for growth. I'll ensure that I've been in the excellence cycle. For the Central Rift team and the rest, I would like to tell you that as the leadership of Central Rift, we have lined up quite a number of activities for the year 2023. 2023 is full of big activities, and just watch the space, and you will never regret. Thank you.
Asante sana, Vice Chair. I think when I was introducing the team at the beginning, we had not seen Margaret Siele. Siele is our Honorable Secretary, Central Rift Region. Siele, tusalimie tafadhali. Margaret Siele, are you there?
Yes, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Gracie. I got it not from the beginning, but whatever I have managed to get, it's really been good and eye-opening. And this is my conclusion, and especially as a team from Central Rift, that is as official, that let me start with myself. My own growth, or rather growth is infectious, and my own growth, working on my own growth will help our Central Rift, because we will be able to infect others or influence others and influence the activities in our region, so that we can be able to be up and running and do better than 2022. Thank you so much.
Asante sana, Madam Chair. Asante sana. Florence from Nyandarua, I think we did not get to hear you. Florence is also part of the executive team, very powerful team that I have that is leading this Central Rift. Tusalimia tafadhali kama unanisikia, Madam Florence. Madam Florence? Okay, maybe she's having some technical challenges. And Niseta, if you are there, Niseta represents our wider flower region in Naivasha together with Emodia. Kindly say hi and tell us what the people should expect in the year 2023. I know 2022 has been challenging, but tell us, what do we expect?
Good evening once more. The session was really informative. Thanks, Grace, for your time. It's been wonderful coaching session. So I pray that our members in Central Rift will be together with us then the next year. I know this year we've not been able to do many sessions like this, and we've prepared a good package for you. So avail yourselves for this. I would also want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy 2023, and ensure that you are working towards impacting others. Thank you.
Asante sana, Madam Niseta. And last but not least, our able executive member, Eli Ngengi Karanja, who works with us also as an executive member. Karibu Ngengi, tusalimia tafadhali. Ngengi, can you hear me, Karanja? Asante, I think he may also be experiencing some technical problem. Flo, did you get on board? Florence? Florence? Thank you so much. I think I saw Bwana Alphas. Just as good to recognize great people like Alphas. Alphas, are you still on the wall? Sema tu hi kidogo, watu wajue uko hapo.
Hi team. Grace, that is very good. I've listened to you from the start to the end. That's very, very nice. And it has challenged me as an individual. Alphas here from the College of Human Resource Management. All questions regarding CHRP, I've put my number there and my email. Let's communicate, let us grow ourselves career-wise. Let's start our CHRP for those ones who have not started and become certified professionals. Thank you, Wycliffe, and the team from the Central Rift. Thank you.
Asante sana, Alphas, a good friend of mine. And finally, I need to recognize leaders who've been there before us. I saw Tabitha Norman on the group. If you don't mind, former chair, Central Rift Region. Yende alinipa kile kijiti cha relay alipotoka Central as the chair person. Chair, if you are there, please, tusalimie tu, tafadhali.
Yeah, I'm still here, Wycliffe. Thank you very much and have a good evening. I just say you ended the year in a bang. Grace will never let you down. Just get hold of Grace and you people will go far. I want to say, even if the session has ended, career growth is intentional. When I was developing myself, people used to say, you're always in school, what is it? But I had that target, I had that goal. And even where I am, I'm not yet there. I want to go to the C-suite. So let's make career growth a personal thing. Let us brand ourselves. Let us also help the ones who are below us to climb the ladder. Thank you very much.
Asante sana, our former chair, and asante sana for that insightful one. So at this point, I just want to close it, watu waende pumzike, but just remember, when a goal is not defined, anything is a result. We don't want to be there in 2023. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the evening. We'll be seeing each other soon. Asanteni sana, Merry Christmas and a happy 2023. Asante Grace, we'll keep engaging. I think kesho Nakuru kama huko nitakutafuta, uninunulie milkshake. Asante. Bye, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chairman.
Happy
Thank you.
holidays.
Hello?
Emodia bado nataka kupiga kelele, sema.
Ako kwa simu.
Hello? I wanted to appreciate Grace.
Yes.
And I'll chat her aside because she has touched my heart.
Si amekwambia kwa Nakuru, kuja Nakuru, ako Nakuru uendelee na mafunzo yenye ako nayo.
Grace, when are you leaving Nakuru?
Tomorrow
When are you leaving Nakuru?
I'm having lunch in Nairobi.
Tomorrow.
Ulete flower.
Nataka nikulete flower, the red one.
You're in Nakuru, that's where we are.
Labda mngoje hapo kwa junction ya Naivasha, mngoje hapo kwa junction uinue flower juu ataona
akipita. Flower, si ndio?
Labda hiyo.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you.
Asante.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Grace. Bye.